Hello and welcome back to N-Scale Friday. I'm John and today we have a model from Atlas that we're going to take a look at. So let's head over to the workbench. Alright, so here's what we're looking at today. This is an N-Scale beer can tank car from Atlas. They call these Shorties and they call them beer cans. In this case, it looks like a beer can of Olympia beer. And I looked on their website and found a whole bunch of different paint schemes that are all beer cans. They go for $26.95. They also have a generic one that just says beer on the side. These are kind of cool. It's like a billboard, but on a tank car. And some people have just Shorties in super long trains. So these are kind of an interesting item. The best bet for you is to go to Atlas's website and see if they have the one that you're looking for. I think you'll be impressed with the variety. So I haven't seen a real Olympia beer can since I was a kid. So it's been a really long time. But this does look like what I remember. And it's actually a very good print job. I don't know how they get stuff to look this good, this small, but it does look good. And there's detail on this car that you might not expect, especially considering it's a Trainman car. We'll look at that in a minute when we look at the top, but let's go around the car first. Something I'm looking at off camera that I'm just getting a real kick out of is on the A end over here. There's actually a little pull tab painted on. I'll show you, it's pretty cool. But let's go around the car first. So real quickly, looking at the B end, you can see the brake wheel here. And that does look like a separately applied brake wheel. You can also see that it has Atlas's knuckle couplers, and these are actually truck mounted couplers. I don't know that there's really a way to mount these to the body of this car. So all the Shorties I've ever seen in this scale have truck mounted couplers. So we'll take a look at the other side, and I'm going to mention real quickly that all this top and ladder detail is one piece that's separately applied. It actually doesn't look bad. I mean, considering this is a Trainman model, it looks really good. Now let's look at that pull tab on the A end. So on the A end, here's that pull tab I was talking about. When I saw that, I just thought that was really funny. I haven't seen a pull tab like that in many years. This was, for those of you who don't know, aluminum cans used to come with a tab that actually pulled all the way off. It wasn't like the ones that we have now, where you just kind of pop it and it pushes the little roundish piece down into the can. These actually pulled all the way off. And I think they stopped making them this way because people had nowhere to put the tab they just pulled off. And I'm not sure about this, but I always assumed that, because I saw people do this, what they would do is they would just throw the tab into the can. Like, oh, well, here, I'll just get rid of it by throwing it into the can, and then I'll throw away the can later, and everything will be thrown out responsibly, right? Well, I think it came back out into people's mouths, and they must have swallowed this. This is like an old wives' tale, but I'm going to tell it anyway, because this is something from an era long past. So my suspicion is that probably people were swallowing these things and doing damage and having to get surgeries and stuff. So if I had to guess, probably some lawyer sued the can companies, and their solution was to make the ones that we have now that just pop down instead of pulling all the way off. So there's your history lesson for all those young people that haven't been around as long as some of the older people have. So I mentioned about the detail on the top, and this is what I'm talking about. That hatch detail is actually pretty good, especially considering that this is a Trainman car. You don't expect that good of detail on a Trainman series. Now, the handrails are a little chunky, but you know what? They're not going to break on you, that's for sure. There's really nothing to see on the bottom. I can use this just to show you that it is a truck-mounted coupler there. So, but there's no brake detail or anything like that. There's just nowhere to put it. There's something really cool about these Shorty tank cars, and in this case, it really does look like a beer can. I think it would be cool to see an entire train of like 150 of these beer cans rolling down the track. If that doesn't make you thirsty, I don't know what would. Anyway, I'll catch you next time.